Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to make a hanger for hoses and tools and extension cords out of basically nylon zip ties or cable wraps. Most of us have them in our house. If not, you can buy an assorted pack, and they're cheap and one of the best inventions in my opinion. Anyway, I'll go through the steps and show you how to make this easy hanger for this purpose. So here you can see one of the hoses for my rain barrels. I've used that method to hang it up on a screw and hook to keep it out of the way, basically keep it dry, no trip hazard when it's hanging up high. So I have two rain barrels there and two hoses, and here's the other hose on a screw and hook. Okay, so again, it keeps everything out of the way, and I'm going to go through the methods to show you how to make it. Okay, there you saw the airline in my garage and an extension cord. So I'll go through some of the steps here. This is a spare piece of garden hose end, and the method basically is to make a cross. So you start with the one around the top of the garden hose. You tighten it, but not all the way. The other one you have to keep so the lines on it are not the smooth side, but the lines to make the ratchet are facing towards you, or the female side if you want to say it that way. Okay, so adjust it to the top of the hose, tighten it up, and then you're going to make another loop with the other zip tie. And just so it starts catching those, it starts ratcheting, you can hear it click. You want to take off the excess, and there you go, there's your loop, and it's secured to the end of the hose. And generally you want to do this on the fitting of the hose and not the hose part, because that'll compress the hose and a bit of wear and tear. So try to do it on the metal part of whatever hose you're doing this method to. Okay, and there you see, just hang it up on a screw and hook. Yeah, whatever kind of hook you want to, even a nail or a screw. Here I'm going to show you the example of an airline for a compressor. Again, you want to make a cross. I'm pointing out the female side facing towards you and the lines. It's flipped over here on me, but I work at it here and just get the first one in place and get it somewhat snug, and then I flip it over. Okay, so it takes a bit of work and practice to kind of get things in place, but you always want to make sure that the second of your zip ties is facing towards you in terms of the hole, and that the little lines on the zip tie are also facing towards you, so you can make that loop. Okay, here I snug it up, pull it out a bit. Okay, that's how it should look. And you make your second loop, and you bring it in just so it starts clicking on those lines, and it's not going to slip out on you. And I adjust it and tighten it up and cut off the ends. Okay, again, keep it on the metal part of the fitting and not on the hose itself. You don't want to compress or kink the hose. So in the garage you see the compressor, and I have a screw and hook here on the wood, and I have the end of my compressor line that I can just hang up like that. Keeps it dry, keeps it from being a trip hazard or getting caught up in anything else. Okay, so it's a good idea to keep things out of the way using this method. Here's an extension cord. Again, you want to make a cross. I'm showing you the proper side of the zip tie to be facing you. Okay, so you lay it across like that. It's kind of gone out of focus, but don't worry, it'll come back and focus in a minute. So tighten up your first zip tie. They call them cable wraps, tie wraps, zip ties, all different terminology. Usually made out of nylon. They're very strong. They can have a good weight bearing characteristic, but avoid buying them at the dollar store if something's going to be fairly day-to-day use or heavy. Again, they can't handle, you're not going to hang a 100-pound hose or tool off of these things. This is just for a fairly light purpose. Okay, cut off the ends, and there you go. There's your loop to hang on a hook. So inside the garage, we'll hang it on a hook. Okay, keeps it out of the way, keeps it dry. You can also hang it on the hook that the cord is on as well. It's your choice. You can make these loops as big as you want. Here's an example, another example of, so this is basically a string. I'm going to cut those off and I'm going to put tie wraps in place. So basically any wooden handle, tool, or whatever material you can drill through, you want to just make a hole so your zip tie can fit through. Here you see I'm just making the hole a little bit bigger, I think a 3/16 drill bit, just to make it a little bit bigger so the tie wrap can fit through. And I typically use either an 8 or 11-inch tie wrap because they're fairly thick and they can handle a good, a lot of wear and tear and daily usage. So, but you can use it whatever size you want. So cut off the excess. And when you're using the tool, you can flip this the tie wrap off to the side so it's not bugging your hand on the end of the tool as well. All right, so there you go. And inside the garage, you can hang it on a smaller hook. Kind of keeps everything out of the way. And these are very strong tie wraps. There's another example. And in the background there, you can see a tool that already has an eyelet, but basically you're simulating that. So thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe for to be notified for upcoming videos. Appreciate it. Thank you.